So with the Eternal Palace raid coming out next week, and I think to a lesser extent Mechagon kind of fits into this category as well, I'm reminded of one of the more basic elements of raid leading, and that is the collection and dissemination of strategies, right? How is your group going to do each and every single boss fight that comes up? So for those of you that are uninitiated, that have never done this before, that are looking maybe for some tips or some guidance, what I want to do here is I want to show you guys my process when it comes to, like I said, the collection and then dissemination of boss fights. Now, this isn't rocket science. It isn't super difficult to do. It's fairly straightforward, to be honest with you. 3 steps that I really see in front of us. The first one here, step 1, is learn the fight. You know, you cannot lead, you cannot share this information until you yourself know the fight. Now, this can be done a couple of different ways. If you are in that world first tier of Raider where you're logging into the PTR, you've obviously already tested, you've already done the fights. You already have information out there. But let's be honest, this content, this video, this channel isn't for the guy that's clearing, this isn't for method, right? This is for everybody else. So this is meant for those that aren't getting on the PTR, that aren't pushing themselves, to a ridiculous degree to get that world first. Your alternatives are, well, actually YouTube's probably the best one. There are a couple of big channels. The big ones that I use, that my guild uses, Fat Boss is probably the number one. They do seem to be a little long-winded. It's one of their characteristics, which I can definitely sympathize with. But there's also another one, Hazel Gaming, and I'll show you guys both on screen right now. Both of these are excellent sources, and there's some other ones here. They're excellent sources of strategies on how to do the boss fights. The second one is the Dungeon Journal. If you need to look up something as a quick reference, as a very basic skimming through to see how a boss is done, if you're looking for specific mechanics, this is a great reference. And the third and final source of information is going to be your websites. Wowhead always has a great write-up, which generally the guys that do the Fat Boss videos are the ones that are writing it in text format so that you can follow along. But there's a ton of great resources out there so you know what's going on. Watch the videos, read up on the fights, learn what you can, because like I said, before you can take charge and lead the rest of the raid, you yourself have to know what the hell is going on and what you're talking about. Now, step 2, write it down. Some folks post this on Discord. Some use add-ons. I've talked about angry assignments before. It's a video way back when, right? Back in Warlords of Draenor, I want to say. A lot of guilds do both. Either way, it doesn't matter. Find a way to basically summarize the fight. Write it up very short and sweet, what's going on. The key here is you want to make it short because, and we're going to talk about this here in a second, people, at least I've seen it with my raiders, this is a struggle. And you guys let me know, maybe I'm in the minority here. They don't do research. So, if you write up this big long post, are they going to read it? Are you wasting your time? There you go. So, step 3 is before the fight itself. Each and every week, I ask my raiders, are there any questions? Does anybody not know how to do this fight? I've talked to you guys about this before, and I'll mention it again. Each and every week, I make sure that there are no questions about the encounter. Now, I do always get a couple of my jokers that'll ask, just ridiculously obvious questions, that have already cleared the fight, that know what's going on. They're messing with me. But every once in a while, there's a question that pops up that is a legit question that we need to have answered. And this is the time that we take to make sure that there aren't any confused people in the raid. Because all it takes is one confused person to move left instead of right, screw up the entire raid, and you've just wiped because somebody didn't ask a question when they had an opportunity to. So here is again where I'll repeat what I just said, that some people are going to watch those videos on YouTube. Some people are going to pull up Wowhead or the Dungeon Journal and read through every single ability. Some of those guys are going to read the notes that you put in Angry Assignments or Exorcist Raid Tools or in Discord. They're going to read through that. Some of them just aren't going to do it. And you need to accept that. You need to understand that your best strategy for leading a raid, if you are in a similar scenario, is to make sure that you know every single aspect of that fight so that you can then see what people are doing wrong. If you take these 3 steps, like I said, learn the fight yourself, make sure that it's posted somewhere so that everybody else can get that information, and then before the fight itself, as you're in that raid, before you engage that boss, make sure everybody else understands. With that, you guys should be clearing content and getting some sweet loot once Eternal Palace, once Mechagon comes out, etc. And of course, for anything in the future. So with that being said, if you guys like this, you guys know what to do. Hit the like button, all that good stuff. If you didn't like it, let me know in the comment section down below what you did not like. I would very much so appreciate it. Until next time, guys, I'll see ya.